Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Rick. We are getting into Band-Maid. Back into the documentaries. Kanami is the next one. There's a bit of a gap between the first one I did and this one. So this is only the second one. I'll tighten up the time frame on the last ones that I do. But anyways, I'm excited to get back into it. I love the history stuff of how they became band members. Really enjoyed the first one. So let's do this right now. If you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go.
Welcome to Kanagawa Prefecture in the Tokyo area, a mixture of heavily urbanized areas, farmlands, and mountains, punctuated by the tourist destinations of Kamakura, Enoshima, and Hakone. Its capital, Yokohama, is the second biggest city in Japan and a nice port city, well known all over the world. Kanami was born in this prefecture near Yokohama on September 28th, being the youngest child of her family with an older brother and sister. As both of her siblings were already learning piano, Kanami's mother asked her to learn piano as well. But she also liked to borrow and play with her brother's airsoft gun. Her parents wanted Kanami to try various activities like ballet, calligraphy, and English, to name a few. Over the years, Kanami continued to learn piano as she has a natural talent for it and really loves playing. A passion that she shared multiple times on social media.
I always like this kind of camera view. I don't know why. On the piano.
Kanami confessed that from her childhood to her junior high school years, she only listened to classical music and was very influenced by Chopin. Kanami plays piano for the introduction of the song Start Over. She also performed the introduction of Daydreaming on piano live multiple times.
It's just before they're getting into that, what a nice setup. It looks like she was well brought up well in the arts and stuff like that. You could tell because she's got a lot of musical talent. Just the way she plays guitar, she's got like a deep understanding and love for music. So, and piano is a good starting point, if not the best starting point, I think, right? I mean, I don't know for sure, but I know that in some cultures, piano is something they try to teach children at a young age for that purpose of a well-rounded type of development. And correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the case. I didn't grow up playing piano or any musical instrument for that matter. But anyways, let's get back into it.
In her interviews, Kanami describes herself as tenin in Japanese, which is translated as natural funny man. Tenin literally means nature or natural. The word has been shortened from tenin bokeh. In Japan, there is a traditional comedy act known as manzai, where the humor comes from the interaction between a straight man and a funny man, not unlike the double act comedy in the West with Laurel and Hardy, for example, or Abbott and Costello. The funny man being the comic character as opposed to the straight man in this comedy duo.
メンバークイズ出題してくれるのは誰だっぽ？あいよみーちゃんまたからみどうぞじゃあみーちゃんクイズ教えてっぽ
はい私の野望についてです一つがさいちゃんと結婚することそしてもう一つは何でしょうか
待ってさらっと野望がねさいちゃんと結婚することってさらっと言ったっぽね
さて
さあ みんちょのマイブームは何ですかぽ？
はい、ミンチョのマイブームは、ミサしか見れないインスタのアカウントをやってるんですけど、自分が
ミサ限定なの？
ミサしか見れないからフォロワーもミサしかいない。
そのアカウントなんで？
でそれでご飯を作ったら、そこに載せて、で偉いって書いたりしたらミサが偉いねってコメント。LINE でやれ。
どうしてインスタに作ったっぽ？
こうやってね、ご飯作ったの並んでいくじゃん。でそれでちゃんと手料理を作るっていうモチベーションを上げるためにやっております。
I understand that. Yeah.
ありがとう。
なんでミサ一人なんだぽ？ミサが先生なの？
ミサはね、偉いねって褒めてくれる。
褒めてくれるからミサを選んだ。なるほどね。絶対ミサちゃんだったらいいねってしてくれるからってこと？はいはい。でそれをサイちゃんには見せないと？
見てくれる？
あ、じゃあやっぱミサだけど。じゃあミサちゃんこれからも頑張ってください。
全員いいねしてるから。
全員いいね。
ありがとう。
In Kanami's case,
I love that I can listen to them talk amongst themselves in banter. I think I could do that for a long, long time. I've seen this. I haven't reacted to anything like this, but I've seen him at this counter before.
her funny talk is not deliberate, but natural. It's like that friend you have who is smart, but naturally strange in a funny way, if that makes sense.
Makes tons of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
面接じゃないんですよ本当に
Saiki and Miku talked about Kanami during an episode of the radio show Band-Maid Nippon.
まずはじゃあギターのかなみちゃん。
はい。
かなみちゃんもねちょっと
なんで
とても不思議な感じなんですよ。なんだろう、小鳩が多分一番バンドメイドでやばいって、
思われ
てるんですけど、かなみちゃんもなかなかだと小鳩は思うぽ。
それは同感です、
ね、同感でしょぽ。
なんかね、かなみちゃんはあれなんだよね、二面性があるっていう言い方していいの？
なんか普段は本当にふわふわしてて、すごくなんだろう、ほんわかしたね、お嬢様みたいな、
お姫様みたい。
あ、そうだっぱね。
おとぎの国のお姫様みたいな。
眠ってそう。
あ、そう、眠り姫っぽい。なんかおしとやかなお姫様って感じなんですけど、
なんか小鳥たちとかと遊んでそうなイメージだ。森の中で。
There was also a moment during the US tour in 2022 where Kanami introduced herself for the second time when the crowd was calling her name.
Oh, they're funny. I love those shows.
In senior high school, Kanami joined a popular music club as a keyboardist, but started to learn guitar a few months later after watching a senior classmate play. Kanami wanted to play guitar to look cool in the eyes of the other girls. And it worked.
Yeah,
ギターを弾いてるかなみ先輩ってかっこいいよねって言ってもらえるようになって、それが気持ちよくてずっとギターを弾いてました。
This is the beginning of Kanami's journey as a guitarist.
That's an interesting little tidbit because she picks up playing guitar the way it sounds solely for the purpose of playing music and looking cool, as if piano is not a cool enough instrument to play. But I totally get it. So people like her Instagram, right? People are if she's doing food and stuff, she puts it out there because you're looking for affirmation maybe, or just someone to say, "Oh, that looks great." And she got that when she picked up the guitar, and instead of like playing the piano and say, "I want to play guitar," people are like, "Oh, look how cool she looks playing the guitar." So she gets that affirmation, and then she gets the drive. So I like that. It's very cool.
She started to learn the basics by herself without any knowledge or even a band to practice with. At one point, a third-year senior who taught her guitar asked Kanami to join his band composed of classmates. The members gave Kanami songs to learn from bands like Kiss, Metallica, and Deep Purple. But the first song she had to learn was However by Glay. As she was covering more and more songs from Western hard rock bands, Kanami had so much fun that she decided to create her own one-person band, filling all the roles herself.
Really?
Kanami was not really
Amazing.
into the idea of joining as a band, as it's difficult to find one where all the members have the same level of motivation and the same ambitions. This is why Kanami started to learn programming and write her own songs so she wouldn't have to rely on a band. Kanami wanted to enroll in a university of music, but she finally followed her parents' wishes and went to a regular university, where she studied economics and management to learn how to promote herself as a professional musician. Even
my
though she
nephew
was
did.
still a student, Kanami worked hard to polish her skills and find her way through the music industry. She built a soundproof room and took singing lessons, even though she didn't really like to sing. Kanami also posted a lot of covers on YouTube and Nico Nico, until one day, someone finally contacted her.
I'm gonna have to find. I'm gonna have to find some of those if she's still on, if that page is still there of her doing that solo stuff. I don't know, just it looks interesting and something to kind of do a deep dive on. If it's out there, I'll find it, or maybe you guys can steer me a little bit that way.
Kanami's hard work paid off as she was contacted to join a female rock band.
カナミッチを最初に見つけて、ね、で見つけてもらって声かけてもらって、
どこで見つけるの？
ネットで動画をやっぱ弾いてみたみたいな上げてて、そこからで私がもともとはシンガーソングライターを弾き語りでこう歌いますみたいなやってたんですけど、バンドじゃなくて。
She met with the management who explained the concept and played songs made for the band. For the maid outfits, Kanami had already performed in one during a school culture festival, so it was not a problem for her as she really liked the concept. As for the songs, she found that they were cool, so she immediately said yes. Plus, she always wanted to be a lead guitarist and work with a female lead singer without having to sing. From this moment,
Wish
Kanami
granted.
was the first member to join Band-Maid.
Okay, so that's something I didn't know. Her being like the first one contacted, and all that she had done, and how she was discovered, like on YouTube and stuff like that. So that's an interesting way to kind of find your members. But I could see how that would be maybe a common way too, because you're out looking for people, and they have that out there, and you can reach out and start something like this.
At the beginning, the songs performed by Band-Maid were sent by external songwriters and selected by the members. After listening to the A-side of Band-Maid's first single called Ai to Jonetsu no Matadoru,
More poppy.
we can imagine
the
that
red.
Kanami mentioned her love for Santana, a famous Mexican guitarist, singer, and songwriter.
Great guitar player. I can hear
She
some
found
influence
Santana
in there.
thanks to her father's vinyl collection, as he listened mostly to rock from the 70s and the 80s. Kanami was still a novice in songwriting, but she continued to submit her songs anyway. Although it was really hard for her to keep writing all those songs that were never approved. Thankfully, Kanami had the support of Saiki, who encouraged her to continue to write more and more. While performing the songs provided by the songwriters, Kanami kept on learning and improving until her determination was finally rewarded when, 2 years after their formation, the first ever song written and arranged by Band-Maid was released.
Yes. There's that rock. There you go. I'm certain I haven't done this song, at least that video. Or this video. Love her energy. Her energy is so good. Like, when she's into it, and I like to watch her play and just have fun. And she's so good. It's like that alone is a reason to watch her play. Right there. Love. So good.
Kanami is the kind of person who has to compose all the time. She loves to create new songs and takes requests from the other members when they have an idea. It's even easier for Kanami this way as she doesn't have to start from scratch. When she does, Kanami uses a riff or a melody, writes around it, and sends each part to each member, starting with Misa. There are not a lot of directions for Misa to follow except when Kanami wants her to slap or stand out during a specific part of the song. Misa, being a very fast worker, gets her response to Kanami quickly, which means then Kanami can start programming the drums for Akane. At first, Kanami received a lot of feedback from Akane about the drums being impossible or requiring 5 arms, but with time, she improved her programming and wrote difficult but playable drums with the help of Akane. Let's take Black Hole, for example.
I feel like before we get into that, I feel like that was, again, I've mentioned this before. She was the first person that stood out when I learned of Band-Maid, the drummer. So I feel like she could play whatever's asked of her. I just think she has the skills. I don't know. You guys can let me know, or if you agree. But give her something difficult. I'm sure she could pull it off like really hard because she's already playing difficult stuff, in my opinion.
She improved her programming and wrote difficult but playable drums with the help of Akane. Let's take Black Hole, for example.
でもあそこは最初もっと難しかったんです。これは無理って言われて代わりに出してもらった別パターンを採用してます。辛口とか地獄とか名付けられたパターンも送ってもらったんですけど確か地獄っていうパターンになったんだと思います。
Kanami wanted Black Hole to be the fastest song possible, but also chaotic, which makes it even harder for Akane. With Akane's drums locked in, Kanami can add the guitars and work with Saiki on the lead vocals. The first demo of a song is actually recorded on a piano by Kanami with her voice as the demo for the vocals, so the song might change completely when Saiki's voice is added. A part of this process was featured in the Band-Maid US Tour 2022 documentary, where we can see Kanami presenting her idea for Memorable to Saiki.
La 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 la
La la la la.
For backing vocals, Kanami proposes some of them. Miku and Saiki
Songwriting's
also
interesting,
propose some others.
the process.
And finally, their vocal director sometimes gives advice during the recording sessions. The rhythm guitar is something Kanami adds at the end of her writing process. When Miku
Makes
has to
sense to
sing,
me.
her part is, of course, simplified, but Kanami doesn't think much about this when composing. Talking about Miku, Kanami's way of writing is totally different when she writes a song for Miku, like Sayanakadori. Even though Kanami adopts her writing to Miku's voice, she wants Miku to grow as a singer, so she is always trying to challenge her.
この最後は変えてほしいって小鳩に言われたので、ちょっと成長の意味も込めて変えたら、最初高くて出るかわかんないって言われちゃって、頑張れって。
Go for it.
Kanami has had a lot of different guitars over the years. She has used a Flying V, a Les Paul, and Strat-style guitars. Her first collaboration was with a Dictone, when Kanami was officially endorsed by the brand on May 21st, 2016. Kanami even had her own signature model, the Dictone Modern Series 2.8 Signature, in two colors, red and green. But there is one brand that we are used to seeing Kanami with for a few years now. Paul Reed Smith Guitars, or PRS.
That's what PRS stood for. Didn't know. That's why my face was kind of, what's PRS? Doing it with their mouth.
At the beginning of 2017,
it looked like she's like moving her mouth to the notes. I thought that was cool. That would be me playing air guitar and doing that.
At the beginning of 2017, Kanami switched from a Dictone to PRS, which was not leaving her previous endorser in good terms with Band-Maid's management.
No kidding.
Who was accused of forcing Kanami to switch to PRS guitars. For the release of their first major album called Just Bring It, Band-Maid recorded the music video of Don't You Tell Me, where we can see Kanami playing with a brand new PRS 408 Fire Red Burst, borrowed from a guitarist amongst Band-Maid's staff. One thing for sure, Kanami fell in love with PRS guitars.
もうファーストタッチで、うわ弾きやすい、手に吸い付くってなって、で、音的にも特徴的なサウンドじゃないですか。私は特徴が欲しかったんですよね、バンドメイドに。ただ PRS ってしっかり弾かないとちゃんと鳴らないギターなので、今でも結構苦戦してるところがあるんですけど、でもこの PRS を使いこなせるようになったら、きっとどのギターでも使いこなせると思ったので、PRS にしました。これだとなりました。直感だったと思います。音も弾き心地もこれがいい。でもしっかり弾かないと音が鳴らないみたいな。難しいけど、でもこれっていう感じでした。
So my ignorance is, a guitar is a guitar, which I know is not true, but it would be interesting to have that talent playing guitar, any instrument for that matter, and then to actually be able to know the difference between, each guitar's brand sound and how they can fit certain musical scenarios and stuff like that. I would like to have that intellect, that knowledge, if you will, but it's good to hear how it is for other people, or how listen to them tell their stories so you get a better understanding. But I find it fascinating.
Mincho comes from her username from the time she posted videos online, which was Kana Mincho. Incho is a suffix to give a cute feel to a name that usually ended with a vowel I. This is how Kanami chose the nickname Kana Mincho, then shortened into Mincho. It has been mentioned multiple times by the members that Kanami has a switch when she is playing guitar.
ライブお給仕の時に、ギターを持ってこうお給仕に臨むと、なんだかこう人格が変わるというか、少しオラオラ系になるみたいで、
急に変わって、
You can see that for sure.
マジで
この金見がギター持ってこうやってやってきますから、
急に小鳩のマイク奪ってちょっと話したりとかする時とかもあって、小鳩メンバーたちもすごいびっくりしちゃうみたいな時があります。
身内もびっくりするぐらいなんだ。
でも打ち合わせとか全くなしで
Everyone's talking for her.
その時はなんかトランス状態みたいな感じっぽくて、私何やってたっていうのがあって、今日はねシンバルをかかと落とししてたみたいな。
This moment can be seen when the camera is on Kanami right after a short pose. Kanami enters in Mincho mode to focus on her music. Sometimes, Mincho becomes out of control, and it looks like this.
That's rock and roll right there. Good for her. That's so good. I haven't done any reaction to one like this. That's fantastic. Tear it up. There it is. The axe kick on the cymbal, she said with her foot. That's awesome.
ミンチョはじゃあ最初にサイちゃんに会った時の印象、ミンチョは
記憶あるとこからでいいよ。
記憶あるところから
今記憶ないかもしれないからと
記憶があるところだとぶっちゃけるとあーちゃんが最初にサイちゃんサイちゃんのことを先にあーちゃんが会ってたから、多分かなみは嫌いなタイプの人だと思うって言われてた。あったね。
結構それ言ってたのね最初。
そうだからすごいビクビクしながら会って、あ、この人かみたいな。でも話したらあれ普通に話せるってなって、どっちだってなって。
Since Kanami met with Saiki, she can't stop showing how much she loves and admires her. It started with the first music video of Don't You Tell Me, where the personality of each member is highlighted for the first time. Since then, she's always showing her support to Saiki during live performances.
私はすごくボーカルの最近のことが大好きなので、はい、一緒にアコースティックでこうできて。いいんだよ、そんなこと言わなくて。
It's so cute.
素敵でしょ。
素敵？はい。素敵です。素敵です。さいちゃんとっても素敵です。ありがとう。
It's been something used by the members for years during MCs. Sometimes, those moments are very sweet.
This is so cool.
And
that stuff's fun to see. And that's why they're such a well-rounded group. Stuff like that.
Sometimes it gives us a memorable moment.
Kanami is Japanese hentai.
Psyche also likes to play this card with Kanami during songs for some funny stage interactions. One thing for sure, with these two on stage, you can expect a lot of emotions coming through their performance as they adore those special moments with just the two of them. Music has been a part of Kanami's life since her childhood, and even if her passion for the guitar started late, Kanami worked hard to master the instrument, songwriting, and song production. Since that moment, every decision she made helped shape the passionate guitarist that we know today. Always impressive when she's on stage with her ability to convey emotions through her guitar, Kanami has moved a lot of fans over the years. From a try-it-all to a do-it-all, Kanami always had the ambitions to break through the music industry. And by joining Band-Maid, she was able to improve her play, learn from professional songwriters, and pursue her dream.
Dude,
thanks to her Band-Maid support, Kanami continued to write song after song until they were approved by the management. And since 2016, she is the genius who writes Band-Maid's music. Improving
tenacity.
and evolving song after song, exploring new territories, challenging her bandmates and herself by making songs that sound good instead of being just easy to play.
You see her face there, the intent in her playing. And the tenacity of keeping, to keep writing songs until they're approved, or she has no quit, it sounds like, at all.
Her song, exploring new territories, challenging her bandmates and herself by making songs that sound good instead of being just easy to play.
でもとにかく音楽には一生関わっていたいなっていうメンバーたちなんですよ、一人一人が。だからそれこそこれから10年後にどうなっているかは正直わからないし、5年後だって見当もつかないんですけど、音楽では絶対つながっていたいって思うメンバーたちですね。もうこのバンド、このメンバーが大好きすぎて、このメンバーと離れるのが絶対嫌だって思うんです。この先も少し立ち止まるような時が来るかもしれないですけど、このメンバーたちに囲まれているからこそ自分は続けられているというか、続けることを目的に続けてきたわけじゃなくて、本当に気づいたら続けられていたっていう感じで入れているのは今のメンバーだからなんだなって思います。
Kanami's path has never been an easy one, but she managed to keep moving forward, destroying every obstacle in her way. Even when she is tired to the point of where she can't barely stand, Kanami will always give everything on stage with the biggest smile. She is a mixture of passion, energy, and joy, who is and always will be full of surprises.
And genius.
Kanami, the genius composer.
I spoke too soon. Beautiful.
忘れた声で今夜だけはそばにいてよ Feel myself
That was good. That was a good
few years.
Whoops.
In high school.
I got him in order. Well, almost in order. That was, these are fun. The documentaries and getting an inside look at how they developed in their music as an individual, and how that puzzle fits into Band-Maid, that piece of the puzzle, is, to me, I love that kind of stuff. I mean, when you enjoy something, anything, in this case, music, there's a tendency, for me at least, to want to know more. Like, what is it about it, that I love? And you can find that in things like this. This band works so well together, in my opinion, that when you see something like this, you understand why it works so well, because I'm 2 members into it, and you look at what their path was and how they are finding each other. And it's unique. It's not just we held rehearsals, we hired somebody, and that's that. In this case, she was sought out, to join, because of her presence on social media. And that's a lot, I'm sure, of how things kind of happen these days. But knowing the talent she had, and how she was brought in, and what she contributes, and the struggles that she, maybe has gone through, but being as tenacious, I used that word earlier, but being that way about getting your songs out there and writing and never giving up, and working together as a group, and just highlighting that contribution is to me just a neat process to be looking at from the inside out. I really enjoyed it. I think Akani's the next one. If I'm saying her name right, I butcher these names, and I apologize for that, because it goes SKAM, and I think I mentioned that earlier. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. I do wish peace to everybody. Be happy, healthy, and safe as always, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.